Are we live?
Checking right now. Let me go to Bounce House Bosses. Where did you go live from?
Um, on the Facebook page.
Let me check. I don't see it.
No? Are we
You
not live?
check on your end. Check on
Yeah,
your.
we're live.
Okay,
We're
cool.
live on the Evenhawk page.
Perfect. Oh, on Event Hawk page. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Now, if you could please help me out and share that link over the Bounce House Boss script.
absolutely. I got that,
Okay. Thank you, Brandon.
sir.
I'm gonna miss you that week. So, hello everybody. Welcome in tonight. Today's topic is gonna be waivers. Some rules that you may have for them, when do you use them, why, and a lot of experiences that you may share, and that you also may want to share with us. My name is Ricardo. I'm gonna be your host tonight. I have Brandon with me tonight. He's gonna be co-hosting me. Um, so yeah, um, let's start a little bit this round table. So yeah, so I'm gonna send the topic again in the chat. If For the new ones that are just joining. So yeah, so today's topic is gonna be we're gonna be talking about waivers. So yeah, guys, I really wanna ask you, did you ever have like this situation where you were like, oh my God, I didn't have a waiver, and having a waiver will be like way easier, like and like any situation that you still regret that you didn't have one and you wish you did? We would love to hear some stories, so feel free to unmute yourselves and to share the stories with us.
Yeah, come off of mute, everybody. Anybody here use waivers? Utilize them, right?
Never heard of.
Never, Adrian, you never heard of the waivers? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, okay. The rate, and okay, well, the waiver is like something you would have a customer sign, right? Maybe fill out. I know some people use them for like public events. Anybody here do a public event in the chat? Here, let me know. Like, what if you do are doing public events? How are you getting people to bounce and everyone to be safe? Normally, that's what a waiver is helpful for.
Yeah, and it also helps to, and it also helps to protect your inventory. Um, I guess at Evenhawk we have a waiver that you cannot have like fireworks next to the bounce houses because they can get damaged. I think for 4th of July, um, we gave those away for our customers, and that's actually one that Drake also uses.
I was confused, Brendan. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Yeah, yeah. The 4th of July fireworks waiver is one of the most like popular ones.
Yeah,
Did anybody use one this past year for 4th of July?
Tariq did.
Heck yeah. How did that go? Did anybody else try it out? Try out maybe a different waiver? Welcome in those who are just coming in. Come off the mute, everybody. Dominique, sorry, I have a screaming toddler in the background. I do have a waiver, but I don't do public events. Oh, you use it on the 4th of July. Nice. Dominique, thank you for sharing. Did it work well? Like did customers were they complaining about it? Were they accepting of it? I know some people that's their hesitation. Like they don't want to make a waiver because some customers might not sign it, might get upset with it, right? How'd that work out for you? And anybody else, feel free. Come off of mute, share in the chat. Rosalie, welcome in. We're talking about waivers tonight, y'all, for those who are just joining us. And rule acknowledge it. What do you use and why?
Yeah.
Not everybody all at once.
I know, right?
It's okay. Yeah, come off of mute, everybody.
Don't be shy.
They understand for the incidental purposes and damage and haven't had an issue yet. Heck yeah, not I'm gonna knock on wood for you. Dominique, I love to hear that. Nice, no issues so far with the waivers. Very cool. Anybody else thinking about using them or haven't yet used them yet? What's your hesitation? Anybody care? Feel free to share.
To be honest, I think that using a waiver is like really, really important because like people really don't take care of the stuff until it's signed, you know? Like I had some friends like when we were still living in the US, um like yeah, um we wanted like to drop a party and you know it was a Halloween party and we wanted like to have a bounce house. Uh, and we were like, yeah, we're gonna go wild. You have no idea what we're gonna do with this bounce house. And then they gave us this waiver that it was like, yeah, that we cannot damage it. That we could also not wear any shoes inside of it. Also not like not nothing like any fire close to it and a lot of stuff like that. And whenever we got like the waiver, I was like, yeah, we're not going wild tonight. We're going chill and we're gonna take care of the merchandise, you know? I was like, yeah, I'm a student, I'm broke, I'm not gonna pay 3,000 bucks for a bounce house. There was no way. Um, so yeah, and right now that we're working in this industry, I can really tell. I can really tell you guys. If you're not using any waivers, you should start using them. Because first of all, you take care of your inventory, and you also make others take care of your inventory. But also, like whenever you have like this more formal stuff, you make like people really trust you. So they are like, yeah, these guys ain't playing. These guys are really serious. So yeah. Um, so yeah, guys, if anyone has any story with waivers, or like as I said, any situation that you were like, yeah, I wish I had a waiver because it would like it would have skipped the problem. So yeah, we would love to hear you.
I have a story of where a waiver actually came in handy. I'm glad that I did have a waiver. And it was last year when I first started, actually. So I'm glad that one of the very first things that I did do was to build a waiver and get my hands on something that was professional and legitimate. Um, I actually rented out, I think it was one of my first bounce house and table and chair rentals, like
Mhm.
as a bundle deal, right? And it was, you know, not to bash us, but you know, we as Hispanics, we tend to throw pretty crazy parties. So, you know, I have to also understand that the cultures that come behind, you know, renting out to certain people. So, yeah. So, um the lady did right, she did sign the waiver, right? And when I went to pick up a lot. I want to say about 10 of my chairs were damaged. Three of them were just completely gone. Like I couldn't repair them whatsoever. My dad welds, so you know, luckily some of them were able to be repaired, but these were just they were just too far gone. But essentially, I asked her like, "Hey, what happened with the tables? Like, why do I mean the chairs? Like, why do they look like this?" And one of the tables actually had a like a boot printed on it from the dirt because we're in Georgia, so there's a lot of Georgia clay here, and the tables are white. You know, you got Georgia clay on my table. This isn't coming off, right? It specifically says do not stand on the tables, do not stand on the chairs in my waiver. And it also includes the weight capacity for both of these items in my waiver. She said, I didn't know that there was a weight capacity. I said, yes, ma'am, you did because you actually signed right next to the specific line that says the weight capacity limit is 250 for these chairs. And for the table, I forgot what it was. But point is you signed, you know, it's here, it's on the contract. I would really hate to follow through with legal action if we don't handle this now, because at the end of the day, wrong is wrong and right is right? So we clearly know somebody at your event, and you know, you've the people fall responsible because it's their event, their guests. So they had to she had to come out of pocket. Was she upset? Yes, very much so. But I only charged her for the chairs that were completely far gone, and the ones that I wasn't 100% sure would get fixed. It wasn't too much, but I mean, it was close to $100 worth of inventory. So yeah, I charged her for it, you know, and I'm glad that I did have that in place, because otherwise I don't think she would have coughed up the money. I really don't. She, you know, she fought me on it. She tried to give me a sob story that she was a single mother. I said, well, honey, guess what? I'm a single mother too. You know, that doesn't really stop you being a single mother, doesn't stop you from paying your bills. It doesn't stop you from having to go buy food and have, you know, take care of your responsibilities. So when you rent anything from anybody, whether it's a hotel, a car, or a bounce house, you have responsibilities. You have a certain care that you need to take after all of these products that you rent out. So it is what it is.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
was this it was an additional waiver, right?
It was an additional waiver because well, actually, no, because when I first started, I actually wasn't with Event Hawk fully. I had started following Event Hawk,
Okay.
but this was like the first 2-3 months that I was in it. I think I joined you guys right at my 3-month mark. So this was right before I joined you guys, and the my contract changed a little bit because I had like the more, you know, more information from you guys. I had the templates and everything that Tariq shared with everybody. So I switched mine up a little bit. But in the beginning, I kind of did like my contract and the waiver together. So when I would send it out, I would send it out through email, through like DocuSign. And I literally would title it contract / damage waiver and liability release, or all on the top.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So like it was like a triple thing.
Literally, it was a triple whammy for them. Yeah. So I just sent it all out. Yeah, because I found it was less intimidating sending it all at once as one document instead of having them sign 3 separate documents. Because then I started having a lot of people asking questions and just, you know, getting a little bit weary, and that kind of pushes people back from renting out because they feel like it's so much liability, when in reality it's all the same liability. It's just, you know, you're informing them a little bit more deeply, I guess, about it, because it's very extensive. The way I had it at first, it was very extensive. So I had 11 pages.
Oh wow.
Listen, I tried to make sure I was not gonna get sued.
I love it.
Coming
Is it
into
still
this
11
business.
pages?
Huh?
Is it still 11 pages?
I don't think so, because I put the font a little bit smaller, so so it's not 11 pages anymore. I think it's 7.
Nice.
I love it. Wow. Okay, so you're
Well-
saying no extra waiver. You're saying include the waiver in the contract, pretty much.
Yeah, that's how I've done it. I mean, it works for me, you know, but up till, like I said, up till recently with through the website and everything, I kind of just have the basic one that's on the website done through Event Hawk. That's the one that I have. But if anybody does contact me through like Facebook Marketplace or anything like that, and they don't book through the website, then I'm 100% sending them that 11-page, that 11-page one.
Yeah. Yo, no, yeah, like I totally get it. And wow, that was a wild story. Uh, as a Hispanic, I'm Spaniard. I totally understand the feeling from going to a party that you want to stand in the table. It just hits different. But of course, whenever you're renting from someone, yeah, you really need to think of taking care of their inventory. I didn't know that. I thought that we only did that in Spain. I didn't know that they also did that in like in
Across
other
the world.
yeah. Yeah, I thought that we were just the weird ones.
No, and then it's crazy because the lady tried to argue with me the weight of the person, because I told her, I was like, there's a limit, you know, and I showed her on the contract waiver the limit, and I had my boyfriend with me at the time, and I was like, look, he weighs 260 pounds. Does he look like he weighs was the guy who stood on this? Matter of fact, this is how I worded it. I said, let me ask you something. The guy who sat on this chair, was he bigger than this guy here? She's like, oh yeah, he was bigger than him, but not by too much. I'm like, oh, okay, really? So let me tell you something. This might shock you. He weighs 263 pounds right now. So if he was bigger than him, that 100% exceeded the 250-pound weight. And on top of that, he stood on it because I see the boot marks on here. You know, so what I'm assuming is they had a piñata. They needed to stand on something. And they were like, hey, let's stand on this. But yeah.
You just gave me a new idea for my next party.
Oh, lovely.
Love it.
Well, I really love that story. Wait, we have someone in the chat. Tom says that he has 4 pages.
4 page first
Um,
contract, I think you're talking about, right, Tom? And then I have a sample waiver here. I pulled it up. I found it. I found one, y'all. If y'all haven't checked it out in the Party Rental Bosses library, all of this stuff is there, right? But there's a waiver there right now. Again, at the very top, it says, please have your attorney or your insurance company approve of it, right? But here's like, it's like a super simple layout, right? Shows all the stuff, what your people need to do. I'm sure Rosalie, you just incorporate this into your contract, right? So they don't have to sign twice. But this would be absolutely like an additional, right, thing you want to send to them. So if y'all want to take a look at this, I'll put a link in the chat. But it's in the Party Rental Bosses library. If you go to templates, hold on, let me show you all I got here. Went to the PRB library and then templates and then the sample waiver right there. There's another one, a courtesy of Casio Insurance, right? You open it, download it, right? Opens up another one. And here's a different one. Oh, wow, look. Right? Slightly different. But yeah. All right, we have all this and more in the Party Rental Bosses library. Let me drop that link in the chat for y'all. Boom, there you go.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Brandon.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have a lot of really cool stuff in our library. If you haven't checked it out, this is the time for it.
I do have a question. Has anybody maybe gotten their hands like on a waiver or anything that's been provided by their own insurance?
Hmm. That's a really good question. Anyone wants to participate? Carlos? I knew you would.
Or is that even a thing? Like, do the insurances provide that?
Oh man, I think they do.
Hey, we have Carlos in the house.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh, good. Oh, good. How's it going, Carlos?
Man, I'm trying to get out of this office. I want to go home. The waivers and stuff from the insurance, I don't think they do. I don't think they, because it would be too much of a liability for them. I guess everybody has to do it with their own with their own attorneys or stuff. I don't believe in waivers. Because at the end of the day, a good attorney can just shred it to pieces. So it's best if you have a contract, for whatever it is. I don't do inflatables. We do, foam in my business and stuff. And, even for that, I have a contract. So, but, the attorney that I work with, he told me, yeah, waiver is like, pfft, I can grab a waiver and just like,
And
so
that's literally why I was asking, because I have heard a couple of people, a couple people, tell me the same thing. So that's why I was wondering if that was something that maybe would be a little bit more tight knit if it was provided through an insurance. But I mean, honestly, that's like I said, that's part of the reason why I kind of just put my waiver and my contract and everything all together, like the liability release and all of that all together. So that way it all just it's all within the contract, if that makes sense.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, that was my 2 cents.
Thank you, Carlos. Okay, good to know, right? Carlos says, no waivers, contracts it is. Love it. Right, maybe we end it there. No, I'm
Carlos
kidding.
literally said, "Let's go YOLO."
He's like, no more. Anybody else? Anybody else have what they do if they use waivers, if they've used them in the past? Mainly, I know like a lot of people use waivers for public events, like I was saying. That's like the biggest reason I would see a person maybe use an electronic waiver, right? Just to have them sign, like their parents sign, right? So their kids can bounce, right? That's like the biggest reason I've seen. Anybody else try using it for a public event or something else?
I just have a question.
Tell
So
us.
somebody invite me to she's gonna do an event this weekend. She want me to go to see if I can donate like one bouncy house and a phone machine. And I was thinking to do like a waiver too, to so the parents can sign the waiver and the kids can play. But
Absolutely.
so you think it's the best way to do it, or
Other than having each one, maybe you know what? Maybe have the customer sign a contract as well, even give it to them for free, right? Just so like the liability is not all on you. You know what I mean? Like you can give it to them for free in whatever. I know in inflatable office you can just X out the price.
Yeah,
Wait,
Brandon's like totally right with that.
we have
You're going
someone
to
in the
give
chat.
them value. You're going to give them your stuff for free. I mean, that's another topic. But if you're going to do that, then they should be the ones responsible to bear the liability if something happens to your stuff, because you're making it too easy for them. They're like, well, okay, you give it for free, you have your waiver. Anything happens, you're the one who has to go after every somebody specific. Just say, okay, yeah, sure, I'm going to do it. This is my contract. Sign here. If anything happens, you have to be responsible for it. Boom, boom.
And make sure that you add, because I've actually seen, there's been some people, at least in my area, that they know that I've started my bounce house business, and they've reached out and asked me, and they've sent me like their drafts, I would call them, for their their contracts and their waivers and stuff. A lot of times people don't realize that you are always better off adding that at the very end, that anything that's on that contract can be persecuted by law of whatever state like you're in. There's a certain way to write it. I don't know it off the top of my head. I don't know word for word, but I do have it on my contract. I would suggest just adding that at the bottom, because that does let people know like this is serious. If you don't go after these people, or if anybody damages my product, I'm coming after you, not them, you, because you are the one who is renting it. It is on your property. You're responsible for it. Anybody who gets hurt, they're coming after you, not me.
Amen.
Amen. Okay, guys.
Hey, Rick, where in Spain are you?
I don't live in Spain anymore.
Ah.
But I'm from Galicia. It's
Galicia. Okay.
Galicia. It's the border with Portugal. And yeah, I also speak Galician. But today, in no way, like in a week, it's been 2 years since I've moved to Mexico.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, dude, if you're in Spain right now, do you know what time it is for you?
Like
Like, what are you doing up at this time, man?
next year I'm moving back. Next year I'm moving back.
All right. Okay.
But yeah, like I just talked with my family, and I believe right now it should be like 2:30 in the morning for them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. All right. Just wanted to.
Ugh,
I was curious.
we
All
were
right. Go
No,
back
but
to serious stuff.
it was
back
like
to
where I was like 2 months ago, I went back to Spain to see my family. So I was working from 4 p.m. till midnight. It was super funny. And I was also doing like round tables. It was wild. It was
Heck yeah. Well, who else? Come on, y'all. Anybody else have any philosophy on waivers? If they use them, don't use them.
We have some comments in the chat. We have from Tom that waiver is an excuse to charge customers extra on the top of your rental price. And also setup fee is also an excuse to charge customer extra on the top of your rental price. And then we have Carlos. Tom, you greedy dude.
Also,
It's also an excuse to give customers discount. Tom, do you want to add anything on this? Tom.
Man, I'm surprised Tom's not talking.
Yeah.
chat. He's in the chat today.
Yeah, he's in the chat. What's up, Tom? Come on. Are you
Well,
sick or
like
something?
like normally
Um,
whenever the round table is really quiet, I'm like, Tom,
yeah,
please.
I know. I'm at work this one. I was a little busy this one. Yeah. But yeah, so a lot of time when I have both of the waiver and the setup fee, because there's a reason behind that because of in my area, my rental cost is too low. Like for example, like the 13 by 13 is only 110. But then because of the damage waiver and the setup fee, at the end of the day, it's gonna be end up like around 170 something dollar. And because my competitor, they also doing that. Um, I try to be like no hidden fee, but then I don't get any booking. So I decide to go to um um Spirit Airline Technic, another word. So but also sometimes when the customer like they try to book but then they like nah it's a little too much and I was like you know what let me help you out I'm gonna waive the setup fee stuff like that and then when the customer heard that they're like oh okay well that helped me a little bit and then they move on with the booking so
Whoa.
Okay,
I
cool.
yeah
actually just started doing the same thing, like literally this week, because we integrated Microsoft Clarity into my website. So we
Yeah,
have
how is that working out? I've heard of a lot of great things about Microsoft Clarity.
I'm not gonna lie, it is pretty freaking cool.
what is
I
that then
literally look, I just spent like an hour just watching people on my website. It is crazy. Like you literally
Actually, it was
can see.
entertaining too.
I'm sorry?
what is a
Sure, it was
Microsoft
entertaining.
greedy
I got you. I'll put
Yeah.
it in the chat.
Yeah, you can download it and integrate it into your chat. Into your website. You can have Event Hawk do it if you can't figure it out. I ended up doing it on my own. I did just ask if they could explain it to me because I like to learn how to do things that way I don't have to bug you guys all the time. But I did figure out how to do it on my own, and it's been running through my website for the past 2.5 weeks, I think. And I've been watching people on my website, and I can see, literally, I can see the hesitation once they get to that quote page and they see like the pricing at the end. So I'm honestly debating just lowering my pricing and, keeping like a setup fee and the delivery fee and all of that. And I don't know, maybe add something else at the end, but just to kind of get people in the door a little bit. And if the pricing is low enough to where I can make back that same money that I'm discounting, I don't mind doing it that way. Like Tom said, the Spirit Airline way, right? Because I guess over here that is pretty freaking competitive. There's bounce house companies around every freaking corner. It's crazy. And they're big. A lot of people have been established over here for a long time. So I know I have a big population of competitors over here, pretty much. So I have to figure out how to compete with them, man, because it's tough. It
The
is
same
tough.
thing here. The same thing here. If someone posts in the local city group looking for a bounce house in 30 minutes, you probably have like 30 of them post like respond to that post. And
Oh,
in fact, my competitor also in Event Hub group, and then I post one day I post anonymously, and then my competitor share my post to their partner. I think they like comment in my post, but then it was anonymous. But I know them because of I pretty much visit my competitor probably like once a month, every single one of them, to see what they have going on. Try to learn from them. I'm still new, so yeah.
wow.
I try to do some fake quote. Use a hospital address.
Oh my God, Tom is such a sneaky little sneaky and greedy. What's wrong with you, Tom? Oh my God.
Hey
All
man,
right,
I'm
just want
just
to say
learning.
goodbye. I'm heading home. So,
All right, be safe,
Bye,
big
Carla.
cool
Carlos.
seeing you
Nice
guys.
to see you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Guys.
Okay, I do have one question. Reading that it says, let's talk about waivers and rule acknowledgements. Okay, so the rule part, I want to ask the rest of you okay, so how do I word this? There's been occasions where I mean, I can tell when my stuff is being a little bit misused versus when it's people who take care of the stuff, right? How do you guys go about like drive-bys? I guess we can call them to see like if the event is going good or like does anybody have like in their contract that they're allowed to like do pop-ups and make sure everybody's like following the rules and stuff like that? Like does anybody do that at all? No, nobody does that.
Anyone?
Because the reason I'm asking is because I've had rentals where I know for a fact the customers have blown out
I'm sorry, what
stuff.
was the question again?
Like how do people go about making sure that people are abiding by the rules? Like do people do drive-bys like to see if everything is good? Like if let's say if it's in a front yard and you just drive by. Or like do you have like in your contract that you're allowed to do pop-ups to see like I mean, I don't know. How would you know like who to do pop-ups on and stuff like that, because there's been occasions where I have rented out to people and you can clearly tell that they have themselves gone in early morning and cleaned up um like whatever it was that they weren't supposed to have in there. For example, I have that they can't use balloons because if it gets too hot, the latex or whatever, like it starts to kind of melt. Like if it's dollar store balloons and stuff like that, and then it gets on the vinyl or candies, juice boxes, and stuff like that. Like I always tell them, I get it. You can't keep an eye on all the kids, but if there's a spill or anything, you're welcome to wipe it up with a a micro fiber towel, but please let us know so that we can clean it properly to avoid ants and bugs and such stuff like that and mold and whatever. So I do tell them this, but I have 100% come across customers who they pre-clean the units, so it almost makes me wonder like what exactly were they doing in there and whatever, because I don't want my units being misused either.
Um, I well, I have that problem, but I never just show up to, check on it. But so here's the thing, most of the rental that I have is they rent it like, 8 hour, which is that's what the rental period. When I put it up, go to the customer setup and everything, I take a picture, and then I have a checklist. and that checklist is kind of read the rule to the customer, like, no sharp object, no safety glass, I mean, no glasses or jewelry, and if it is, they can have it on, but then if it's missing or damaged, we're not responsible for it. No diving into the pool, no face paint, glitter, stuff like that. I basically no food, drink, animal. I kind of like read the rule for the customer, and then at the end, I let the customer sign on that checklist. And then on the bottom of that checklist, it says like, I name blah blah blah. Understand that the bounce house been delivery, and I as the owner of the bounce house went over the safety over the safety wisdoms and stuff like that. And then they sign their name and date. Um, but I don't go back and check. But here's the thing. When I go to pick it up, if I noticed there's a balloon or a glitter or food and drink in there, um, I just clean it up. But then I'll take a picture and send it to the customer. Um, I only charge them once, only one customer that I charge them because they spill Coke in their bounce house and it's sticky and I have to clean it up. But long story short, every time that I go to pick up the bounce house, I always clean them. I use a mop, the car wash mop, and I use with the simple green. I just spray it in there and then mop it inside. Regardless, they have food or not, I always clean it up and make sure it dry and before I roll it up. And yeah, I just never pop up. But if the customer have something in there that they're not supposed to and they clean it, pre-clean it, I mean that's great. It make my life easier. I just, wipe it down with a regular mop and I always have that. And trust me, it saves your back a lot instead of like on your knees and then wipe it panel by panel on those bounce house. That's a pain in the butt. My back is twisted. So now I start to use the mop. I'm looking to get a backpack vacuum where, just put on your back and you're still walking around on the bounce house while you vacuum the dirt instead of using the small sharp vac and then, on your knees and it's a pain. Especially you try to like keep just your body straight in the bounce house. That is a lot of work. Like it's like you're riding a horse.
Guys, every time that we have these round tables, you always make me think about my behavior whenever I rented a bounce house. I'm the type of customer that I have left like food inside the bounce house. But for real, it's really cool. Like imagine, imagine
Rick, you're letting us know you're the customer we don't want to rent to. You're
I know,
the one we do not want to
Absolutely.
rent to, man. No.
Absolutely. He would have a drink in there, right? He'd be bouncing with his shoes on. You don't want to rent from
Yeah, he gonna be in there with his dress shoes and his mojito and stuff in there, man. With
yeah.
his glasses too. That's a
Yeah,
sharp object, my friend.
Well, if
that's
we're
that's another thing.
yeah, because
I
I'm really
so far I only charge customer one because they have a Coke and they spill in there, right? But during the setup, I also walk around the site of the bounce house, and then I told her if I see a dog poops and stuff, I told the customer at the end of it, I said like, can I make a small suggestion? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I told them like, well, I recommended to pick up those dog poop around it because if kids run around without shoe and then they step on it and they get into the bounce house, you're gonna be responsible for the cleaning fee. And they were like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of time I seen that and um yeah, the customer pick it up. And the next day when I go to pick it up, or the same day when I go pick it up, I don't see the dog poop there no more.
I like that
That's
one.
actually something that I have in my contract that
Mhm.
animal feces is not to be around the area that the bounce house will be in. It cannot be within 10 feet of the unit. And if I
Yeah.
see it, I literally tell the customers, excuse me, I see some animal feces around here. Do you guys have a dog or a cat? Oh yeah, we have a dog, or usually it's a dog. And I tell them, okay, well, unfortunately, it is in the contract. Please, 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 can you guys take a moment to clean up the area and make sure that there aren't any other droplings around, please, to avoid a cleaning fee. And usually they're like, oh yes, of course, yes, we'll do it right away. They don't, yeah,
Yeah,
they don't fight us on it.
on your go high level software because it on a day before the event start, I have a pretext like, to ensure the bounce house setup process smoothly, please make sure the setup site, no rock, no sharp object, no dog poop, stuff like that. And thank you. I'm looking to see you soon. That's what I have a pretext. It take customer a day before. I also this
So
one
what,
is
like a checklist for them to make sure
no,
that the
no.
area is clean?
Yes, kind of. But it's on a
Ooh.
text message. Yes. I have what snippet? Yeah,
Yeah,
snippet
yeah. A
on
snippet that you like an automation that you send out.
yes, it's sent
Oh.
by itself. Um I think someone helped me. I think Lionel or Brandon, I don't remember. Um Also I have a clean tarp, like a brand new tarp, the thin one, the 5 millimeter one from Harbor Freight. I put it in my car all the time whenever that I go to set up. If I go to set up and then the setup site is full of dog shit and then the customer have not picked it up yet and I don't have time for that, I told the customer like, here, I have the new tarp. Um, if you don't clean that dog poop, then you can just use my brand new tarp and then you just pay for it. And then yeah, but I never used it one because of I think someone suggested what Stacy mentioned that because the very first time that I went to set up the bounce house that full of dog poop, I don't know what to do. I just put my tarp over the dog poop and then I trash my tarp. But that tarp is literally is already old. So but yeah, now I always have the tarp. If I'm gonna use my regular tarp, if they don't clean it up before I set up, then I'll just tell them to use the new one. And I'll if the tarp that you buy is cost $15, then you charge them 30.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I like it too. Yeah, I like the word choice on it though, right? Like, hey, a little suggestion. Want to pick up this poop? It's gonna save you some money. And ultimately it's gonna save me some cleaning.
That's the
It's
goal. That's
pretty
the
much just
goal.
like, hey man, pick up this dog shit or I'm charging
Right?
you $30.
It's the most polite way I've ever heard someone say that. Absolutely.
They just told me like, man, do you want well, they say in another words like, hey, do you wanna pick up your food or you're gonna need to pay? I was like, no, yeah, I think I'm gonna pick it up. So yeah, no, it's totally no, that was really good. It was a really good idea. Also really nice choice of words.
Love it. Well, anybody else? Any use of waivers? Anything else for today, y'all?
Um, well, this may be like a really dumb question. But guys, whenever you get your customers like to sign any waiver, do you prefer that to be over paper or you prefer like to use digital waivers, maybe both? To be honest, I feel like it will be easier to use a digital one. But I've also seen a lot of clients, like I've seen them whenever they meet with me to get some meta ads. They have told me that they still use like paper waivers. So yeah, I would love to hear from you. Which one do you prefer?
I stopped with paper waivers. It was too much of a headache. I had a lot. I'm telling you, when I first came in, I tried to do everything like cross my T's, dot my I's, like super, super, like don't don't come after me, you know? So I tried to get people to come in person to sign the waivers. It was so hard. It was so hard and it was just too much of a hassle to be behind people, you know, and then it's like the day of the event is here and then I still have to go and like deliver it and then I can't find the person, they're not there, and then I have to drop it off and it's like what do I do? They haven't signed the waiver. You know, they haven't signed the contract, they haven't signed the waiver, like none of that. So I figured it's just a lot easier to do it electronically. At first, I'm not gonna lie, one of the big reasons why I wanted to do it in person and on paper is to make sure that they completely understood the responsibility behind rentals, right? The rentals. And so that I made sure that they read through it instead of just skimming through it. But in reality, like, come on, when we go do other stuff, they're not doing that for us, you know. um it's just too much. It's too much hassle, too much on one person to do. So electronically, you email it out, you put it so what you get a CC and it'll send you back the copy or however whatever works best for you. But electronically, and you can always save it. It's always on the internet. Some way, somehow you can
Yeah,
retrieve it.
but here's what I find the issue with the electronic one, because whenever that um you send them and then they click on the link, right? It open the page where they can sign it. But here's the thing, if the customer doesn't sign it, they can just like put one dot on it. The system will accept it. They don't know that it's a signature or not. It just, oh, there's something on there. So yeah, I assume it's a signature. That's why if I always go every single lead that I have. If the customer, just like draw random stuff, I print out a blank contract, and then before I set up, I give them to sign, and they're like, "Oh, I already signed it." It's like, "Oh, I'm not sure what happened, but this is what I just print out from there because it showed me that it haven't been signed." So they have to sign that, and then after I finish it, I go over the safety. That's when I kind of read the sheet that I mentioned earlier, and then they sign it again. So yeah, I know it sound a lot, but it's gonna cover your butt when it's come to a problem. And I keep every single one of them. I have a binder that I name it customer file, and then I sort it by last name, and I just you know punch a hole into it, and then I put it in there. But here's my goal at the end of the year. I'm gonna combine those in one folder and then just stack it somewhere. I'm gonna keep it like I don't know. I'm gonna keep it for several years before I trash it, just like my tax return. I have I can pull up my tax on paper back for the last 10 years. It's there on my shelf.
So Tom's all about the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm old school. And in fact, I just bought 5 rim of paper from Amazon, like 17 bucks.
Sounds like The Office to all this paper
Yes,
talk.
yes, yeah. It actually so I have one on my bedroom in my house. I just like it doesn't have bed in it. It's just an office. I got my desk and computer and a shelf and a bunch of stuff, printers and stuff like that.
Heck yeah, home office.
Yes, home office. But yeah. And I just upgrade my website so that I can add more inventory. More inventory coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys, I really wanted to ask you this. Like whenever it comes to waivers, how do you explain that to the customers in order that you don't scare them off?
I
Um,
do. Yeah, go ahead.
exactly, but that's what we don't want. We don't want to scare customers. Like guys say, like really not to scare them. Like how do you are like, hey, how do you basically say like, hey, can you please sign this? If you sign this, it means that if you do anything to my bounce house, you're gonna need to pay me all this. Please sign. Like how do you
Believe
without
believe or not, I never have a customer asking what is the damage waiver. I never have a customer asking.
oh,
And I do have a damage waiver somewhere where I don't know. I probably have to dig around to find it. I only have a contract and um the safety sheet. But yes, I charge customer for damage waiver. And that's 10% of the rental. So yeah, extra 10% of whatever it is.
hmm, sounds really good. Anyone else? Anyone else has any strategy on how not to scare them off? Okay. Um, guys, what will be like the time, like the appropriate time that you would say like for you to update your waivers? Um, like maybe every year, every upcoming season. Like for example, I don't know, maybe you saw that during like during the big season, you saw like this and that XYZ. So you're like, yeah, I'm gonna update this for the waiver of the next year. Or oh. So Rosalie, you update your waivers during the off season. So you do that like or just like during or just like once every certain time?
I've done it once and I only did it during off season, just because I was it was a time where it was like, okay, I know I'm not gonna get any rentals right now. So I'm not too much in a rush to finish this. I have time to do a little bit more research and make sure that this is tight knit. Because I tried, and this was all when I first started last year. I tried editing the contract that I had from the first month, and it was literally in the middle of me getting like a bunch of other inquiries for rentals and stuff like that. So it was hard for me to put it together. So for a couple of people, I did have to send like a half ass thing. I'm not gonna lie. So I would just say during off season when there's less traffic would probably be the best time to do anything that has to do with like switching out anything or updating or whatever the case may be.
Sounds really good. Sounds decent. And I also think that during the off season will be good because yeah, like there's not too much events going on. And yeah, I really like that. Anyone else wants to add anything in here? Like for example, Tom, when was the last time that you updated your waivers? Oh, uh-huh. Anyone else? It should be updated whenever a loophole found. Okay, so it seems like Tom updates the waivers whenever a loophole is found. That's really interesting. Um, so yeah. Um, guys, one very last question. Um, like how different would you say will be like a waiver, let's say like for inflatables, then for tents, then for foam potties? Is it really different or you basically use like the same one? Like hey, if you damage it, you need to pay um the same one. So yeah, Tom says he uses the same one. Anyone else?
I think we needed Carlos for this one. He left a little early, or you asked the question too late.
Right, I know, right at the very end.
Yeah, right at the very end. I was like, dang it.
I mean, I would think it would just kind of need to be like in general for pretty much anything that you rent out. Just any equipment that is rented out by whatever your business name should
Hmm.
be covered under the contract, I think, or I mean the waiver, whatever you guys
Yeah.
want.
Yeah. No, that's very good. So, guys, oh my God, we have made it till the end of this round table. Um, it was really a pleasure for Brandon and myself just like to have you guys with us. It was really amazing. We'll learn a lot. We're gonna send again in the chat in case someone needs it. The link for or app link. And also for some documents that could be like really useful for you guys. So yeah, everything is in the chat. And yeah, thank you very much for being with us today. My name is Ricardo, and Brandon was with me the whole night. So yeah,
Absolutely. I had a great night.
I also had a great night. I'm gonna miss you whenever you leave for the for your trip.
It is my last roundtable, y'all, for like 2 weeks. I'm going to the Philippines. I'll see you guys when I come back.
Yeah, I'm really gonna miss Brandon.
Ooh, congratulations, Brandon. Have fun. Are you taking the baby?
Oh yeah, baby. My wife and I and Booker, we're all three of us are going for 2 weeks.
Oh, that's fun. Well, you guys be safe and enjoy and take lots of pictures.
Oh yeah, you know it. It'll be on my Facebook.
Awesome. I'll
Thank you
make
so
sure
much,
to like it.
Dominique. Thank you, everybody.
You
Every
guys be safe. Bye.
Travel, Brandon. uh, guys, pleasure. See you later. Bye bye.